Hey guys, so today we're going to go over the blues scale. So let me know if it's working. I'll play a little bit and we'll get started. Alright, so as always, there will be a special code for watching this video, so I'll leave that in the video below, but it may expire, so you're going to want to check it out. I'm going to leave a different one for YouTube and for Facebook, so whatever platform you're on. Also, feel free to ask questions, and we're going to talk about how to use the blues scale over rock music. So, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the pentatonic scale in general, but the blues scale is just adding in a couple additional notes. So let me make sure you're all good, and we will get started. Cool. All right, so I'm going to show you the normal pentatonic scale, and then I'll do the blues scale. So pentatonic is just, I'm using, so some of you were saying it's hard when I don't use fret markers. So I got this guitar today, and we'll be using fret markers. It's a cool ESP. So on the 6th string, I'm going 5 for pentatonic, 5 to 8. So pointer to pinky. I like to think of it as 1 to 4 fingers. So 1, 4, then 1, 3 on the string below, pointer to ring finger. So 5 to 7. 5, 7 on the 4th string, 5, 7 on the 3rd string, and then back to 5, 8 on the 2nd, 5, 8 on the 1st. So 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. And you probably heard this in, a lot of rock and a lot of blues. But the cool part about doing the blues scale in rock is we get to add in some additional notes. So I'm not seeing your guys' comments yet. Let me scroll a little bit. But go ahead and grab your guitars. Okay, cool. Okay, someone asked if it's Robert Baker's night. It normally is, but I'm filling in for him tonight, so that's why I did too. So normally it will be Robert on Thursdays and me on Tuesdays, but it's me tonight. So hi, I'm Stephanie Pickard. So normally it is Robert Baker. All right. But okay, so now let me show you those additional notes. I'm sorry, I'm not getting you guys on Facebook, but let me know it's all good and we will keep going. Oh, here we go. Cool. So, normal pentatonic. And for those of you who maybe are used to seeing Robert today, I like a lot of alternate picking, a lot of speed picking, a lot of metal and shred stuff, but I do love the blues too. That's where I started too. So I like, I really like to reinforce that we're doing sorry, you guys are funny. I like to reinforce that I am doing alternate picking. So, now I'm going to add in the blues notes. So I will scroll down the camera so you can see a little bit better. So now, so a little slower and all alternate picking. So down, up, down, up, down. So you might notice a couple of new notes. So they're right here. It's chromatic. So 1, 8, or 1 to 4, sorry. Then 1, 2, 3. So 5, 6, 7, 5, 7, down, down, 8. So right here we're going 5, 7, 8, and then 5, 8, 5, 8. So you can add in a lot of cool licks this way. So, you'll hear this in a lot of Zeppelin too. I'll pop it up a little bit. So you'll hear this in a lot of Led Zeppelin too, like. Right, there's that chromatic. And those are. I had to remember it. But you'll hear it in a lot of Led Zeppelin, a lot of rock in general. So today, I'm just going to show you how to kind of incorporate it in some of your licks, and you guys can ask me questions. I'll give you that link, and we'll get going. So let's see on YouTube. You guys are asking if it is Robert. It is Robert on Thursdays, but today, it's me, so I'm just filling in for him today. But I'm normally on Tuesdays, and Robert's on Thursdays. I'll be back tomorrow for a quick warm-up lesson, like a 15-minute lesson just on Facebook. So you can tune in there too. All right. Okay. So I like to add in these notes. You can also add in some of the major pentatonic notes, which are, you go, get that little like Van Halen thing. So just have fun with it, pretty much. There's a lot of cool ways to bring pentatonic and any kind of blues scale into rock music and make it fun. And the cool thing about, a lot of rock music in general is that we're using power chords, and that's why you can throw in some of these notes where normally it might be a little more strict. So, sorry, let me speed it back for you a little bit. But that's why we can all of a sudden throw this like chromatic run and it's not a big deal, right? So I like a lot of these Zach Wild licks, like... And that actually leaves out that, but when you're adding in these blues notes, you can add that in for a little just extra flair. And I really like this one. And you can really hear how it's different. It just adds in everything a little bit different. Let's see. Some of you, I don't even understand your comments, but, we will have an open Q&A at the end. And also, while we're at it, let me go ahead and give you these links. So this is for our special offer for Killer Guitar Control Secrets. So some of you maybe have been following this channel for a while, and some of you maybe this is your first time. So, we're all about playing from the heart. Me, Robert, John, all the teachers, Sean, we're all about just playing from our heart and how to translate that into music. And Claude has this super awesome instructional DVD on how to play from your heart, which is something that not normally people do teach. So this is awesome. So go ahead and check this out. Hey, Todd from Kansas City. I'm going to pin this to the top. Let's see. I think your name is Latchlin. I can't tell if you're nice or not. I hope you're nice, because usually these are pretty fun. So check this out. So playing from your heart, it's not in a lot of different things. So for me, it's really fun to be able to do that because, I don't know, maybe some of you haven't seen me before and you've seen Robert mostly, but I think the biggest thing and the coolest thing, I love to improvise. I love to play, the things that are in my head. So let's see. Here you go for YouTube. And Seth, that's not a dumb question at all. Seth is asking on YouTube, how do you get that octave high squeal and all these fretboard on your fretboard whenever you want? So that's actually, that is a different topic. But I play with a lot of harmonics, so I know why you're probably asking that question. So, when you are doing that, just make sure, it's kind of a weird thing to teach, so I'm going to explain it the best that I can. But the advice that I was given was just to go in a room and try until it happens. So, you pinch up on your pick. So you hold your pick like you normally do, but you're really choked up. So it actually hits your thumb and your pick at the same time. But it adds this really cool sound, and it's kind of a weird thing to explain like I'm saying. So pinch up, really choke up on your pick. Like, I don't know if you play baseball or anything, but they say like choke up on the bat. You want to choke up on your pick. So I'm literally have my thumb flush with the pick, and that's what's making that noise, is it's the sound of the string and the pick and your thumb all hitting at the same time. But it adds a lot of style to certain words. Like, And it can add just kind of extra flair and stuff to your licks. So, that is a good question. So I don't think it's a bad question at all. Not thumb harmonics, pinch harmonics. You know, you're using your thumb, though, to get that noise. So, sorry, that was someone's question, was if they were called thumb harmonics. All right. Thanks, Lachlin. I don't know if I'm saying your name right or if you're being sarcastic, but, you know, these lessons are for people of all levels. So that's the point, is I want to make sure that I'm explaining to you how to play these scales and then how to kind of add your own style. So, you know, I can teach you all these licks and how to play them just like I'm playing them, or you can try and play them in your own way. So incorporating some of these ideas, right? Like, I want you to recognize these notes from, you know, classic songs. To me, it's such a Led Zeppelin thing, especially when we're talking about blending it with rock music. So that's a really cool thing. You know, listen to Led Zeppelin, you'll start to hear these notes too. And that Van Halen. So you might want to take some of your normal pentatonic licks and then add that in. For me, when I was very first starting out, I remember one of my teachers also encouraged me to add in those major pentatonic notes at the bottom, so that instead of, you know, just going, I had, and I thought that was really cool. I always I felt like it gave me more to run with when I was speed picking, because it gave me 3 notes per string, obviously, instead of 2. So for me, that was really fun. You know, adding in these. I especially like them at the end, when, you know, when you're at the end of a blues or rock song and you're going crazy. I like those a lot. So if you're trying to play along with these licks, I was just going on the high E, 5, 7, 8, then back 7, 5, then on the second string 8, 7, 5, and then doubling that up, and same thing. Oh, I kind of added another harmonic, or I added another note. So I'm adding a lot of hammer on pull-offs, sorry. But if you want to simplify it, you can go. And kind of end, or go crazy. You know, at the end of the song, you can always go crazy. But my favorite ones are just kind of adding in that. And so all I'm doing there is tapping 12. And then kind of going up. I like it the most on the first 2 strings. And then I also like to do something when I'm playing any scale, but I like to do quick slides out of the position. I think that's always really cool. You know, in this case, I know if I was just doing pentatonic, I would slide the whole step. But since we're adding those blues notes, you can just slide sometimes to get a different effect. So it just kind of adds another style. All right, let's see. All right, I'm just checking in to see your guys' comments every once in a while. But yes, so it's very easy. Can you help me? Yes, whenever you're trying to phrase, try to make the guitar speak. I think that's the coolest thing. When you listen to super old school blues guys and they have that whole call and response thing, that's the best exercise you can do. And if you have a friend that also plays guitar, or anybody that you know that plays guitar, that's something that's awesome to do. So just, you know, it doesn't always have to be fast. Anything that just kind of adds in something different. I'm trying to emphasize some of these blues notes just because today we are doing the blues scale. So. I think some of the coolest things that I've seen, especially with beginning to phrase, is anything where you're looking and you see like the old school blues guys, you know, and they just do like 2 notes and it's so powerful. I think that's a really great start. Some of you are asking about speed. Speed definitely comes with practice, but it's also slowing things down and really knowing what you're doing. And also, don't be afraid to mess up, because sometimes you discover something really cool when you mess up. That was probably one of the best lessons I ever learned, was because I think a lot of us get so caught up in always wanting to be perfect, but everybody messes up sometimes. So sometimes that leads to something really cool. So, especially when you're just practicing, that's what practice time is for. And when you're jamming, it's all good, like try to discover new things. And with speed, what I do is I slow things down a lot, and then I test myself, and then I speed it up. So if I'm playing, and maybe I'm not fast at that yet, I'll play it really slow, and then I'll speed up. And then I do it easier. But it gets easier over time. Like a lot of times now, because I practice speed picking very slowly and accurately, then when I speed things up that are maybe new positions or new things that I haven't done before, I'm able to do it easier than I once was. So it's also a technique that you'll get down. And it's okay if you're 55, that's cool. You should just play the blues, and you should just work on your speed picking and slow it down. I think it's just a cool thing to have in your arsenal too. The Facebook questions, sorry guys, they're lagging more than the other questions, so it's harder for me to catch them. Let's see, I'll make sure that I can catch them. So also, if you want to just get used to using those blues notes, if you haven't done that before, I know all of you are at different levels and different places in your playing, but if you haven't done that before, just getting used to that chromatic feel. But what I would encourage you to do is when you're jamming tonight and you're having fun and you're playing some of the pentatonic licks you normally do, throw in some of these notes that you don't normally use. So that's the whole point of this blues scale. So again, we're just doing our normal pentatonic with a couple added notes, right? So for those of you also that were asking about speed in YouTube, also slow that down. When you're practicing scales, that's a good opportunity to practice your speed too. So let's see. Okay, some of your guys' questions are really weird. So I'm going to stick to YouTube. Yes, these are humbuckers. So they're asking about my guitar. Let's see. I don't think there's an age limit on doing this, so I think you're all good. You guys are all on YouTube. YouTube chat is good. You guys are asking serious questions. That's awesome. So let's get back to just how to use the blues scale and rock. So the whole point of today, what I wanted to get across was that, and I guess we're getting pretty close to the end here, so I'll also do questions at the end. And I'm going to go ahead and throw in that link again. So guys, if you haven't already, please check out our Killer Guitar Secrets. They're awesome. It's all about playing from the heart. I've been doing this with guitar control for a while now, but they have been going on way, way longer than I have been around. So check out this Killer Guitar Control Secrets and check out how to play from the heart. That's really what it's all about. To throw in octave segments in your runs. I do sometimes, so that's a really cool suggestion too. So you're asking about octave runs. So let's see. So throwing in octave patterns is also a really good way to kind of, when you're doing licks and stuff, get out of one position. So if you're playing something right there, you can also play it right. That's also a quick way to kind of change where you are. So all I did was play the same octave box, jumped it up, and then I moved out of position visually because of the tuning of the guitar. So cool things you can do with those are, I always like that string skipping lick. But if you want to add in the blues notes, let's try that. So it can be be kind of interesting. So I was going, actually I should probably leave that note out, but I'm going to throw it in just for today. Actually, I guess we should leave it out. It's a little harder, I guess, with that. But what I would do is just jump. So my suggestion would be, because again, I was talking about, I threw in some minor notes in that one. It didn't work so well with that one major part. But what I would say is when you are throwing in these notes, especially with rock, bringing in, the rock music vibe and bringing in the pentatonic scale with these blues notes and these added notes, is that we can just kind of throw in whatever we want as long as it sounds good with each other. So when you are moving in octaves, that is a good way to move around. And, you can move in octaves in two different ways. You can either jump up, or you can just go up that way. You can actually go up an octave because remember, your guitar repeats itself after 12. So you can actually just jump up the actual octave and play the same licks. Or you can jump up an octave this way and kind of move around the guitar that way. All right, let's see. Why don't Tama and Lachlan stop talking to each other? I think that would be cool. Okay, let's see. Yes, so we're talking about finger arthritis, Stephanie. I actually had a really bad wrist injury. So some of the people that are on YouTube and talking about wrist injuries, it is something to take seriously. So I played with bad technique for a long time when I was younger and first starting out. So, I like to always emphasize whenever anyone's asking questions about this is always having your arms really relaxed and your arm in a straight line. So my pick is in line with my arm and everything's really relaxed. And you can tell when I'm even speed picking, it's all coming from my wrist. And so my arm isn't moving like crazy. And it's very little effort. So it shouldn't hurt, and sometimes when we're building strength and stuff, it does take a while and it might, you might have like growing pains, but it shouldn't hurt. What strings do I use? I'm using GHSs. I use 10s, but I use really thick picks. I use like 2.0 picks. I just always have. Some people are different. I can't use thin picks. Brazil is cool. Let's see. All right. So let's go ahead and let's go over a couple more of those. So remember, let's see. And thank you guys on YouTube for all the serious questions. That's awesome because, we enjoy doing these for you guys. I'll be back on Tuesday with a different topic, and I'll be back tomorrow with a short topic. And actually, for you guys that were talking about arthritis and stuff, I'll be back tomorrow just for a quick 15-minute segment about warm-ups and stretches and stuff. So that is also something important because as a guitar player or a musician, you're kind of like an athlete and you're working muscles, and you do get fatigue and stuff. So to build up all these endurances and everything, there are a couple, easy ways to get ahead that way. That's funny. Doug said he just got a wrist injury just watching. No, just slow down. So that's all you have to do. Let's see. Let's see. Doug wanted some Phrygian. So let's see. All right. So again, I wanted to, before we get into the Q&A in just a few minutes here, I did want to emphasize that you guys go check out this link because it might not be around here that much longer, but, playing from your heart. We're going to talk about 3 different things in this DVD that you will get. So there we'll go over, there's steps to playing from your heart. So we're going to do 3 different things. There's techniques, which are some of the speed picking things we threw in here. There's scales. So, fretboard knowledge, what we talked about with the blues scale or anything else. Like some of you asked about Phrygian or minor, anything like that. We're going to do, that's what fretboard knowledge is. So arpeggios, scales, chords. And then hand-brain connection. So getting what you hear in your head out of your fingers. So these are the 3 things that we will cover in the DVD below. This is for people that want to have their own voice on the guitar. And so, as I was saying earlier, that's not something that's totally in a lot of guitar magazines or that people even really talk about much. So this is our way to show you guys how to play what's in your heart out of your hands. You know, like when you listen to people that you think are really great, like Steve Vai and Carlos Santana and Eric Clapton, and they have this own feel that they have, like how do they get that? So it's about finding your voice, not trying to be somebody else. So if YouTube needs that one more time, I'll throw that in for YouTube. And then I'm going to take some questions. So let me throw that in for YouTube really quick here. All right. Cool. So what strings do I use? I use GHS. You notice that your picking hand gravitates up towards the neck as the neck pup as you play. I think that was wrong. How do you stop that? Okay. Your question, I think there was some weird typing in it. So maybe if I'm answering it wrong, write it again. But you're saying that your hand is gravitating up as you play. So I guess my take on what you're saying is that maybe you're losing a little bit of control. So you're coming up too much. So that's the whole thing about playing fast, is that you want to stick as close to the strings as possible. So if these are the strings, I'm not far back at all. Like my pick is right against the string. So that all saves time, right? So you know how swimmers have like swim caps and they have all these things to cut down the amount of time? I'm thinking about everything when I'm practicing, not when I'm playing. When you're playing, that's when all the practice pays off. But I have my pick not far behind my finger, and I'm doing as little movement as possible. And I'm alternate picking because to go, you know, if you're going to do 2 downs, you are going down and you're actually coming up to go down again. So I'm utilizing all the movements. So that's how you can play faster. That's like a quick way to say how to play faster. But if you're having a hard time, oh wait, like you're hitting your pickup. If you're hitting your pickup, it's just all about control still. So, I mean your pickup switch. So it's all about control. So Rob is saying that, I think he's saying, I didn't used to pay attention to the direction of my pick. When I first started out, you know, I was picking kind of like Marty Friedman does, but I was, you know, hurting myself. So he does it and he's fine and he's awesome. I don't know how he does that and like never got hurt because I got really hurt. And I had tendonitis in both my wrists and I couldn't play for like 6 months or something. It was awful. But, you know, they were saying I would never be able to play fast again and all these things. But I ended up just really cracking down and learning, you know, my technique and how to kind of get around that. And now I don't have any pain when I play. So, you know, always think about all that stuff. You know, if it looks bad or it looks uncomfortable, then it probably isn't good. Because if you're playing like this for hours, like that doesn't look healthy. It looks uncomfortable. So everything relaxed, shoulders down, everything in a line. So the direction of my pick, it's kind of a shred thing to have your pick angled that hard. So to have your pick like that sound is kind of a shred thing. So if you like that sound, go for it. Otherwise, I would have my pick flat, but never bent the opposite way. So either flat or all in a line with your arm. So, you know, all in one direction. Everything is angled in one way. What does Marty do and what do I do? Marty, he is just, his hand position is just opposite of mine. So his pick, I'm not sure if you can see it that well, but his arm and his pick are going the opposite direction. And then mine is all going in one way. So it's not to say that people can't play like how Marty's doing, because obviously Marty's awesome and he's super successful and great and he's not having an injury, but it's more common to get an injury that way. So for some reason he doesn't, which is awesome, you know, but for me, I did. Okay, let me check in with Facebook. Okay. All right. Facebook have questions. We're supposed to have some questions. Okay, so the best way to connect scales. So if you know your modes, like how some people were asking questions about modes. If you know your minor scale and then you know that Phrygian has, the 2 is altered, that's the best way. So knowing how to slightly alter your scales and just knowing what's the difference between all of them. Can you show us your guitar front and back? It's beautiful. Thank you. I will show you right now. So this is an ESP. It's a super awesome guitar. I'm really lucky. They gave it to me right before my fiance and I moved. He plays for ESP, and he's been playing for them for a while, and I play for Monarch Guitars. And before I left, ESP gave me this guitar because they thought I would like it, so that's pretty cool. So it's an LTD. It's got a ton of glitter, and it's really awesome. Hi, Michael from Texas. All right, you're asking about the correct way to practice tapping to a metronome. The correct way to practice anything to a metronome is obviously just doing it in time, but setting things to a tempo where you're comfortable. So if you're not comfortable playing something at a certain speed, seriously slow it down. Like slow it down to such a slow speed that you're almost, it's a piece of cake. And then what I did to build up my speed picking is I would have a little book and I'd chart what I was doing. And I had an egg timer, and I would practice my speed licks or whatever my licks are. I'd practice them, say, really slow, like 80 or 100, and then depending on how hard it was. And then I would wait 5 minutes, so I'd play it for 5 minutes, time myself. Then I'd bump the metronome up 5 BPM, and then I would also, play for 5 minutes, and I'd rest in between. And so I'd build up and up and up and up and up until I eventually was getting faster and faster, and then I don't have to start as low, and that really helped me. Also, you can just kind of test yourself. You can play something slow that way and then speed it up and kind of gauge how far you are away from that, because obviously maybe we don't have that much time every day to practice that way. I only did it for a little bit. Okay. You said play something. So let's see. It's weird when we talk for a long time. Okay, so right now you're asking what effects I'm using. Right now I'm just using Axe effects. A tapping sound would just be, and then speed up. So just slowing it down. In YouTube, you're asking about tapping. So cool. Yeah, I'm just using Axe effects. I love Axe effects. I'm using Axe effects with the Matrix Power Amp. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. Well, actually, I guess we can hang out for a couple more minutes, but I want to make sure that you guys check out the link that I left below. So for our Killer Guitar Control Secrets, Robert will be back here on Thursday. I will be here for a quick little lesson tomorrow, and I'll be back on Tuesdays. And also leave comments about what topics you guys want to go over and stuff. So leave, let us know what you want to do. So channel where we do songs and topics. So if there's something you really want to do, I get a lot of questions about speed picking. If there's a song that you really love or a part of a song, please leave us comments because we check them out. And we have tons of videos on our channel, on our website and channel that are just covers of songs that get you, quickly into playing songs by Alice Cooper, by Guns N' Roses, by tons of popular bands, Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix. And it's myself and a few other instructors, and also anything else you want to do. Thanks, Doug. Let's see. And thanks, Seth. I like all different styles of guitar. I don't use a slide that much myself. I probably should, because we're in Nashville now, so I should get some different tools. But I like to slide on the guitar itself, like just sliding around. You know, I like quick slides, I think, make things kind of special. I like to try to add in techniques together that are different. So that's always really cool. Thanks, Brett. Song creation for advanced players would be a really cool topic. Oh, thanks, Seth. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. So tomorrow there'll be a quick tips, and every Friday we're doing quick tips, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays are longer lessons. So leave quick topics and longer topics. And Cisco's asking about understanding root notes and determining them. So one thing to know about that is to also just know your notes on the 6th and 5th strings, especially. So knowing your notes in general, but know them on the 6th and 5th. Jabin, he's the only one asking questions that are questions, but you can ask an actual question. So like Lachlin and the other guy, it's kind of defeats the point of these. It's kind of lame. But you like YouTube, you guys are doing awesome, so that's really cool. So yeah, check out these links below. Check us out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So yes, sorry, I'm trying to scroll through the comments. It's hard to find the actual questions because it kind of ruins it for everybody else. You know, like if you don't like it, you should just leave. So I understand that you're lonely. I mean, it seems like you're very lonely. So I would definitely try to go talk to somebody else. You know, if you don't like something, you should just stop watching it. That's kind of weird. And yes, so soloing off of certain keys. The easiest way, usually your root is your first chord. It's not always though, but that's a really easy way to kind of at least have a starting point. Use your ear if you need to find the root note, you know, finding a progression. Using your ear or singing something. Singing something is actually one of the most valuable things someone ever taught me, was because even if it's a riff or anything, if you find those movements, you can quickly sort through the guitar, right? There's not that many options that it could be. So that's a good way to start. But yes, knowing your notes on the 6th and 5th string is the number one go-to thing that I would do. Guitar controls a person. Nope. So, yeah. You're welcome, Dawn. Yeah, thank you guys for the ones that are taking it seriously, because it's pretty, you know, it's kind of ruining it for everybody else when you're like Lachlin and maybe Javen. You've been kind of good. But that's the whole point of these, is for people to learn. So be cool, because it's kind of, I mean, you look really lame on here. So thank you for all the people that took it seriously. YouTube, that's awesome. You guys are asking tons of great questions. So that's really cool. Tom, thank you. And yeah, I think cleaning up tapping would be a really cool subject. I think tapping's awesome. And just to get a start on tapping, I would definitely listen to a lot of Van Halen. That's what I would do. Oh, thank you, Billy. That's awesome. Yeah, I know you guys were expecting Robert, so I'm sorry. I hope that it was a nice, pleasant surprise. And, you know, if you enjoyed it, please tune in on Tuesdays. And you'll also see Robert on Thursdays, so he will be back. And a quick warm-up lesson tomorrow. So that's awesome. I'm glad you liked the guitar. Oh my gosh, Billy is saying that he had some PST and anxiety problems and was encouraged to pick up the guitar, which I think is super awesome. I think guitar is a great outlet. I think it's a good outlet for anything, and that's why I try to emphasize. I know some of you are taking it very seriously, which is cool, but that's why I was trying to emphasize. Like, I always thought I went to a guitar school that was all guys and all people that want to be just like Dimebag Darrell, and that all had really big issues with ever messing up or ever not looking cool or anything like that. And it's just, that's not what it's about, and that's why I've been encouraging you guys to check out these killer guitar control secrets, because that's really not what it's about. And if you're having that hard of a time with everybody else, it's usually, that's very internal, and it says a lot about yourself. And so, guitar is about playing what you want to play in your head and getting it out. You don't want to be just like Dimebag Darrell. You don't want to be just like Steve Vai. I mean, you do, but you also don't, because they already exist. So you want to find your own voice, and you want to find how they found their own voice. So check it out. The links are below, and you'll get a discount for sticking with me today. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Denny is asking what time I come on the most. So I'm here usually the same time as this broadcast, but I'm here on Tuesdays. So Tuesdays at 7 Central for an hour lesson, and then I'm back every Friday. I do quick tips at 1 Central. So it's usually like a 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes 20-minute topic. And just a quick, hi, here's some quick tips in your day, and then that's it. But it's asking about palm muting. For palm muting, you just karate chop your guitar. So you just boom, and then you have this. And how tight you do that affects how tight the sound is. So just basically karate chopping at the bridge and rocking out. So the amount of pressure. And usually this can be, palm muting is a tricky one because it's that same thing that sometimes you mute by accident and you don't want to. But if you do it the right way, it's actually very beneficial. So muting with chords and everything. Let's see. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, John. Yes, Tom is saying the blues minor scale is one of the coolest modes to compose heavy riffs. It is. Led Zeppelin. Come on, right? Don is asking, do I play live or in a band? Sorry. I should have done that when you asked me that question. This is my first time ever. No, I'm kidding. I have been in bands, and currently I'm working on doing a solo record. So I want to do a shred album. I like a lot of lead guitar stuff. And then my fiance plays in a metal band called I Wrestled a Bear Once. And we've been doing these holiday shred videos that are really fun. But I'm not currently in a band. We both got to play with Billy Ray Cyrus a couple weeks ago, and that was really cool. So I do a lot of random things, but currently I'm teaching a lot. So I'm doing more and working on solo stuff. I was kind of writing for TV, and then we moved out here, and I've been working on getting back to my shred roots. So I want to do a shred solo album. Yes, Phrygian is also very cool. One of the coolest. Sorry, just checking in how we're doing on time. So it sounds like we're doing awesome. We are getting close to time, but since you guys are asking serious questions, let's keep going. So who do I listen to? I listen to a lot of people. I like to listen to actually everything. I think I always try to have the outlook that everybody is awesome, well, for the most part. I'm a human and stuff, but I try to find, the good in a lot of music, especially teaching brought that out of me. I definitely had my phase where I was not like that, but teaching brought that out of me, where I found cool things in all sorts of different music. But my favorite players are, I saw Steve Vai a couple weeks ago, and that was amazing. A couple months ago, and that was just mind-blowing. He's just incredible. I like Born of Osiris a lot. I like Children of Bodom a lot, or I did a lot. I like Metallica. I like Megadeth. But I also like pop and other things too. So, and I like Hendrix and Zeppelin and Cream and Band of Gypsies and all that too. My favorite Van Halen riff. I like Eruption. I don't really like that. I don't have a whammy. I tried to do it. That's a really cool trick too, actually, when you don't have a whammy and you pick the open string and you move your guitar like that. So what I did to get the sound of a whammy is I pushed the headstock away and pushed the body towards myself at the same time, and it creates a dip in the pitch like that. So I think that's really cool. My inspirations. Let's see. I would say Buckethead, yay or nay. I never listen to Buckethead that much, but everybody asks me that and acts like I have a Buckethead vibe, probably because I like fast things, so I should listen to him. But I think he's cool. I mean, I don't really like anybody hating on any of those people that have like accomplished so much and have worked so hard. Like when people talk down about John Petrucci or something or act like he has no feel, to me it's impossible to not have any feeling when you've put that much time and work into something. I mean, he obviously loves the guitar. He, is like the boss of it. I like Paul Gilbert a lot because he's a really good person, and I got to study with him, and I thought that was really a great experience. But he's has a really good outlook, and I always think that's cool. I don't like the whole thing of like negativity in music because it's just like the opposite of what it's about. The Zach Wild solo on Miracle Man is awesome. I would love to do a lesson video of that, actually. I think that's a really fun one. And I think Zach Wild is awesome. I think he's definitely one of my inspirations. I think I got all my pinch harmonic things from him. I like Van Halen a lot. I like Paul Gilbert. I like the little tap slides and stuff. And I think I got a lot of blues influence from my dad growing up. And then my fiance, I don't know if you've ever heard his band, but he did a lot of stuff that was really cool. And he makes really crazy noises. So that has been inspiring me lately because, I would sit there and do all these shred things. Then he'd make some like insane noise. And I'm like, oh my God, I want to figure out how to do that. So I think anything that pushes your limits is really cool. He was a lot better at effects and dialing in like crazy things than I was. And I was always like such a nerd about practicing and everything. So I think anybody too in your life that pushes you out of your comfort zone in your playing is a great thing to have because we get really comfortable in whatever we do and whatever we're used to. And so for me to hear him like make these crazy noises, I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, we'd work on something together and maybe he didn't play something harder than me, but it was more creative. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm not creative. Like I need to be more creative. And so I push myself to become more creative. And I think that's really cool. Or, if you have a friend that plays similar things to you and they're super great, then, you might also be encouraged to be like, oh, I really want to sweep like her or him or, anything like that. Yeah. Angry music is, I think a lot of happy people play angry music. Doug said, I don't mind angry music. That's good. I just love guitar. And I think that's a really good outlook. I mean, I'm a very happy person that really likes angry, dark music. So that's weird. I think Jeff Beck is awesome. And I do think Nuno Betancourt's awesome. If any of you guys caught that Generation Axe, I thought that was like the most inspiring thing I've been to actually in a while. That was months ago, but that was the Steve Vai. It was Steve Vai, Yngwie, Tosin Abasi from Animals as leaders, Nuno Betancourt, and I'm forgetting one person. Oh, Zach Wild. And it was insane. That was the most inspiring thing I've seen in a long time. Every single person was inspiring. Tips and tricks on improvised blues solos. I would say they're the same on anything except with blues, communication. Like, since today was rock, we were doing like a lot of heavy stuff. But any blues things, say you're trying to just quickly do a solo, the quickest shortcut I can give you in the amount of time we have left would be, come up with a phrase. Like, and then play off it. And then maybe go further. And then end it with something either crazy or some kind of resolution. But, you start with a phrase, then you extend the phrase or just have a variation of the phrase. Then you maybe come back to it and extend it, or you just go crazy. That's what I would say. Think of it in like 4 things. So start with your idea, extend your idea or alter it a little bit. Either come back to your idea or take it even further, and then finish with a huge bang or with a resolution. So kind of like a story, kind of like you're telling a story. All right, that's awesome. Thank you guys for giving topics. So that's great. I think Jeff Loomis is awesome. He's crazy. He's super good. And Chris Broderick. You should listen to Chris Broderick. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to wrap this up, but check out Killer Guitar Control Secrets. So all what we talked about today, and a lot of you had a lot of questions about this, so that's really cool. So you'll get your discount. I'm going to throw it into YouTube one more time because I know Facebook, I pinned it to the top, so you can grab it there. So thank you guys for watching. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. And you'll get a special discount. So playing from your heart. That's what we want to work on, right? You know, like I was saying, this isn't taught in a lot of things. So I have to stop doing that. Sorry, I usually play my other guitar. So playing from your heart. That's what we really want to get across. So technique, fretboard knowledge, and brain-hand connection. That's what we're going to show you in this DVD. You get a special discount code today. Check out the link below. And thank you so much. I'll be back on Tuesday. See you guys. And tomorrow for quick tips. Thank you guys. See ya.